Hello, my name is Bryce and I'm with the group SUDS. Today we will be presenting to you all our group service project helping the Wags and Whiskers Pet Rescue. And we'll also be going over how we plan to achieve our goals that we presented to you all on our last presentation. Today I personally will be going over how shelters earn their revenue and why volunteerism is so important in the animal shelter setting. After me, we will have Charlie, who will be going over the correlation between clean dogs and the euthanasia rate. And then we'll move on to Missile, who will be going over the physical and emotional impacts on humans through interactions with dogs. And then on to Jirelli, who will be going over why performing civic duties are such an important part to society. And then finally, we'll have Iris, who will be going over the physical and emotional impacts on dogs in the shelter's care. As we probably all know, animal shelters typically are ill-funded and understaffed, and therefore volunteerism and also contributions from the community are very important. And as according to the 2018 news article titled Walk with Flag, a Festive Hit by Haley Watts, she outlines the 4 ways in which shelters earn their money, which is through fundraising, annual donations, grants, and gifts in kind. Therefore, depicting that they're highly reliant upon the community and also local businesses for their resources and money. And there's also lots of gaps to be filled, which is where volunteers can step right in. And as in the 2015 article titled Understanding Volunteerism in the Animal Shelter Setting and Improving Volunteer Retention by Rebecca Davis of Marquette University, she goes over that an hour of service provided by a volunteer equates to about $17.55, which is more than our current minimum wage. And in 2010 alone in the US, the total amassed hours of volunteer time at a private wage came out to be $283.85 billion, which is comparable to modern day Chile and Belgium's GDP. And not only is volunteerism important for the organization itself, it's also very beneficial to the people that participate in the volunteerism. As according to the 2007 book, Working in the Voluntary Sector by Craig Brown elaborates on how being a volunteer can help develop one's business and interpersonal skills in which they can then take into their own personal jobs in the private or public sector. And now to go how we plan to achieve our goal. We will be doing that. Our goal is to provide 6 hours of dog cleaning services. We plan on doing that by splitting it up into 2 3-hour segments, which will be completed on April 27th and May 3rd at the Wags and Whiskers Pet Rescue. And then to reiterate what I've gone over in my speech, I've gone over how shelters earn an income and why volunteerism is so important, and also how we plan to achieve our goals. And these are just a few reasons why we have decided to volunteer at the Wags and Whiskers Pet Rescue, and I will now be passing off to Charlie.
Thank you, Bryce. Hi, my name is Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Thanks. It's good to be here with you today. All jokes aside, we are here to go over how we are reaching our goal of finding like-minded individuals to help dogs in shelters, and introduce how we are going to promote our project. One of my main concerns is the euthanasia rate and how high it is. So to help bring it down, we're going to be cleaning dogs to help with their appearance, because a cleaner dog is more likely to be adopted. And we're also helping out the shelter by cleaning the dogs because they are less likely to spread disease, bugs, and fleas. According to the College of Veterinary Medicine, in 2005, 40% of the dogs admitted in Michigan State Pound were euthanized because of appearance, bad behavior, and sickness. That 40% is about 56,972 dogs in Michigan State alone. To help alleviate that number of pets euthanized, we will be washing them to help with their appearance. Like I said before, a cleaner dog is more likely to be adopted. So by cleaning them and getting them adopted, they will not be euthanized due to overcrowding. One of our goals we mentioned last time was to find like-minded individuals to help in our animal shelters. One of the ways we will be spreading our project and finding others to help is at the Civic Expo and promoting on social media. We'll be encouraging people to help out at a shelter like we are by washing dogs or cleaning pens, or actually encouraging people to adopt a dog themselves. By adopting a dog, we will be getting more animals out of pounds and into homes. To recap, we are going to be promoting our presentation at the Civic Expo and on social media to encourage people to help out a shelter or even adopt a pet on their own, to get more animals out of the pounds and into the homes. Now, on to Missile.
Hi, my name is Misael Romo, and in order to achieve the goal of valuing time to the community and dogs, we need to take a step back and understand human emotions with dogs, generally, and health benefits. So let me give you a scenario. Imagine if Jen lets a dog loose around the class. Half of you guys will maybe be focusing on the assignment, while the other half will be looking at the dog and being, he's so cute. But we can all agree on the same thing, that we would all be stress-free and be less anxious on our presentations. And that's what the 2017 research named the mental health benefits of having dogs on college campus by True University says. They state that having dogs as an animal-assisted therapy will reduce stress and reduce anxiety. And this is proven to help out many students to the point that 99% of freshmen prefers animal-assisted therapy over counseling. So not only are dogs benefit in school life, but also having them at home on a busy schedule will benefit the average college student. Having a dog at home, according to the 2007 book titled Pet Laws and Human Emotions by Cherry Barton and Jane Barron, it gives the individual a sense of well-being and peacefulness just by having the presence of a dog at a home. But actually interacting with a dog can give you many health and physical benefits. According to the 2018 article, Dogs Are Best Friends in Sickness and in Health by Maria Coet, not only are dogs helping reduce, premature death and heart failure, but also it gives out this hormone called oxytocin that really helps to reduce anxiety and stress. So to wrap it all up, I explained our goal, which values time to our community and dogs. And in order to achieve that, we need to understand all these benefits of not only interacting with dogs, but also having them out on school campuses. Now I give the stage to Jareli.
Thank you, Missile. Hello, I'm Jareli. Today I'm going to start off with a quote from Ronald Reagan that reads, "We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone." This quote helps understand the importance of helping others. Like, for example, we are going to help volunteer at a shelter called Wags and Whiskers. Our Cause for Paws, which is an organization that has estimated that around 4,100 dogs are euthanized in the United States daily. Once a dog is dropped off at a shelter, they have approximately 72 hours for adoption so they could be adopted until they have to be euthanized. To help minimize this issue, we are volunteering at Wags and Whiskers. Why here, you might ask? Well, because recently we encountered that they were asking for volunteers to help groom their dogs. And of course, we have decided to volunteer and help out to alleviate the stress of the staff and also to help the dogs be better looking for when their future owners show up, they are ready to go home. According to John Wilkson in an article called Volunteering, to volunteer, it means to offer free time willingly without expecting anything in return. This is offering time freely to any person, group, or organization. Of course, the only thing that we expect in return is to help minimize the amount of dogs that are going to be euthanized here, and also to help increase the amount of adoptions that are going to be held at Wags and Whiskers. With this though, we are also enhancing awareness of problems. We increase empathy, increase our personal skills, and we will also decrease the stress of the staff. And with this, with our experience that we are going to have, we will be able to promote education to the people who we share our experiences with, so that they could also share and the word can spread around. Challenges and more stress to the shelter could be when pet owners don't have their animals microchipped, vaccinated, or they aren't neutered. This is because it is up to the staff to be able to have them prepared for adoption. And not only that, sometimes it makes it more complicated and their time ends up not being enough that they have to be euthanized. We strive to lower down the death rates of the dogs and to help them be groomed so that this does not happen to them and they are able to go home to a lovely home. And also for the staff so that they could attend some higher issues and we could groom the dogs. Now, I will hand it off to Iris, who will continue to expand on the issue of this topic.
Thank you, Charlie. Hello again, I'm Iris Vasquez, and I'm here with more information on sheltered dogs. More specifically, I'm going to go over the impact staff and volunteers at shelters have on dogs. I researched quite a bit and found some great and useful information. Did you know that the longer a dog stays at a shelter, they tend to get a problematic behavior? I didn't know that until recently. With them acting out, it will reduce their chances of getting adopted because sadly not many people adopt a bad boy. According to the news post, Impacts of Long-Term Sheltering on Dogs from the webpage Pets for Patriots, dogs are the most social animals. It's in their nature to be playful and curious, but when brought to a shelter, they tend to be timid and scared. This is where staff and volunteers spend time just playing with them and getting their tails wagging again. The staff works hard to keep these creatures safe and healthy. They don't stop until they have made sure they have gotten a good, safe, and permanent home. Like Rachel Crossetti says in her article, 16 Things Shelter Workers and Volunteers Really Wish You Knew, which could be found on Bark Post, many dogs come into a shelter, hurt, damaged, and fearful of everything and everyone. Volunteers and staff members spend many hours of many days caring for these animals. They feed them, clean up after them, get them the medical attention they need, and just trying to gain their trust once more. They want what's best for these amazing animals. It's like a foster child who has gone from one home to another, fearful of the possibility of never getting adopted. It's the same for these creatures. Every time someone comes to a shelter to adopt, but leave without a furry companion. This is one of the main reasons my group and I decided to go volunteer at a dog shelter and how change the lives of these wonderful dogs. We want to help make these dogs comfortable and happy while they wait for the right family to come through the doors and integrate them to their lives and home. This goes back to one of our group goals, which was to create a positive impact on the dog's life, which for me is a top priority. These dogs have gone through a lot, so it is crucial for us to volunteer once in a while and spend a couple of hours with them. I think the only problem here would be trying to resist taking them all home with me. I'm really looking forward to spending time with the dogs and help change their worldview one dog at a time. Thank you all for listening.
Yay.